Throughout the country, Heifer International is putting forth efforts to bring the plight of the billions of people living in poverty around the world to the United States in as many different ways as we can. And we believe that the African Children's Choir is a perfect vehicle to bring the beauty and the hope of the African continent, while at the same time shedding light on some of the brutal realities of today.
Most of the kids in this choir have lost one or both of their parents to AIDS and other poverty-related diseases. All of them are victims of pretty extreme poverty. Now, we've been bringing choirs over to the U.S. to tour since 1984. So this is the 29th choir, and we've had children from several different African countries. These kids all come from Uganda. These are children, for the most part, who have been in the schools that our organization is running there in Uganda for underprivileged children. So when we need to put a choir together, we'll go and look at some of these schools, meet some of the kids there, talk to the teachers and social workers, and listen to their recommendations as to who are some kids who could really benefit from this program. There's a little bit of musical screening that happens, not to look for superstars, but just sort of to make sure that you've got kids who at least have a little musical ability, or teachability really. And then the primary criteria is need. Since we've been running since 1984, the kids who are in the early choirs are all grown up now, and we're able to see the fruit of what happened in those early years. So we've got now the kids from those early choirs are engineers and lawyers and doctors and teachers, musicians and journalists, everything.
For the last 63 years, we've been focused on providing food and income generating resources to people living in poverty. We use animals, livestock, ranging from water buffaloes to honeybees, to help families rise up out of the depths of poverty and ideally stand on their own and help spread that prosperity. These animals provide both, as I said, food and income, but through the passing on the gift, where the offspring of every animal given to various families is then passed on to other families. We simply plant a seed or a rock in a pond, and the communities around the world accelerate the process through the passing on of the gift. And we found this tremendously successful throughout Asia, specifically in China, and throughout many parts of southern and eastern Africa.
We went out on a women's group who had been given some goats and chickens and sheep and different animals. And they had come out of the shadows of their life into being somebody. They were so empowered and so thrilled and happy with their new life. And it took a lot of the work that we do is with gender equality training, because all of a sudden the women are starting to earn money with the sale of the eggs or the milk or whatever, and the men are going, this is different. We don't know if we like this. So in this particular group, we always worked with that issue until the men became going, hey, these women have done incredible. We're going to form our men's group. And they started going around the village doing projects like repairing the road and digging wells and improving the infrastructures.
The gift of livestock is a vital part of so many families' lives around the world. Being agriculturally based, the livestock help generate a sustainable source of food and income immediately. Most families who do not have the luxury of having livestock or training in sustainable farming find themselves splitting up, going to urban areas to find employment, or leaving their country, as many do in Central and South America, coming to the United States trying to find employment. This comes from desperation in rural communities. And so what Heifer is doing is trying to redevelop small-scale economies. So by reintroducing or redeveloping livestock within rural communities, we're keeping families together, regenerating local economies, helping to reestablish an entrepreneurial spirit, which when all that is brought together, in addition to increased nutrition, that's when we see the bonds of poverty begin to fade.